I'm calling it right now. War is coming to Dragon Ball Super, and in this video we are going to go through all the evidence in the story to imply that this is a fact. Before I get into it though, I just want to give a shout out to a video recently uploaded by Anime Live Reactions. He is talking about the origins of Moro, who is the newest villain in the latest arc of Dragon Ball Super. I highly recommend you go check out that video after this one. I did, and I learned a lot about Moro that reinforced a lot of what I've been saying on this channel for a very long time, which are strong ties between Moro and the demon world, and the major impact, did I say major enough, that it's likely going to have on the future of this series. Guys, do me a favor and watch this one all the way through, because I will love your opinion in the comments below. But there are some very interesting stuff in this video that you will miss if you do not watch it from the beginning to the end. So let's just hop right into it. What do I mean when I say war is coming? What war? Well, a war between the angels and the demons. This should not come as much of a surprise to anyone, considering that angels and demons are natural enemies almost every time they appear in a work of fiction. And in Dragon Ball Super so far, we've seen a lot of angels, but not too many demons, even though we know that the demon world exists and is likely out of the reach of even Zeno. So Moro, being as powerful as he is and having ties to the demon world, could obviously spell problems for the angels and the gods, but it goes a lot deeper than that. And here's how. What is the purpose of the angels, the gods of destruction, the grand priest, even Zeno? What is the only purpose that Dragon Ball Super has given these deities so far in the series? Most of you guys already know the answer to this question, but I'll say it anyway. The purpose of all the deities in Dragon Ball Super so far is to maintain, cultivate, and grow the mortal level of all their respective universes. This is so important that when a universe's mortal level isn't up to par, Zeno is willing to simply erase it completely, god of destruction and all. This was obviously one of the driving factors of the Tournament of Power, but it also happened in the Future Trunks, Zamasu, and Goku Black story right before the tournament. Now, what exactly is the mortal level of a universe? Some people may wrongfully think that a universe's mortal level is tied to the strength, the power levels of the fighters from that universe. But that isn't true. The mortal level appears to have little to nothing to do with the physical fighting ability of the mortals in any respective universe. According to the Dragon Ball Wiki and other sources, the mortal level is much more closely tied to the amount of living beings that exist in that universe and their quality of life regardless of their battle power. Okay, great, Dooley, Dolly, or whatever. I get that the angels and Zeno care about mortal level, but what does that have to do with war and the demons? Well, a lot. But since we're talking about Moro, let's start with him. Take a look at Moro's main ability. It's one of the craziest things we've seen in the entire franchise so far. Moro has the ability to suck the life force out of any living thing, and he can do this on a massive scale. In fact, Moro alone has sucked the life force out of an entire star system and brought mass extinction to 320 planets. Moro is single-handedly likely the reason why Universe 7 had one of the lowest mortal levels amongst all the other universes. I believe when you look at it that way, it's easy to see how Moro and his power stand in direct opposition to the gods, the angels, and their goals. But we're not done. Moro is a wizard, and the only other wizards that we've seen in the series prior were Bibbidi and Bobbidi. These two individually crowned themselves Father of the Majin, which, in case you didn't know, Majin is a word that translates to demon. Now, at the beginning of this arc, the arc that introduces Moro, the Galactic Patrol arc, it's obvious that Majin Buu is being reintroduced to the story in a major way. In case you haven't been keeping up, just real quick, Majin Buu was kidnapped by the Galactic Patrolman for the purpose of removing the Daikaioshin from his body. The Daikaioshin is the Kai, or the god, that Majin Buu absorbed millions of years ago. But because the Daikaioshin had such a pure heart and was such a happy-go-lucky person, when Majin Buu absorbed him, it warped Buu's personality, creating a much more passive Fat Buu. Because of that, it'll make sense for you to expect that if the Daikaioshin is removed from Fat Buu's body, it'll mark the return of the old Majin Buu. The same exact version of Buu that was being awakened and controlled by Bibbidi and Bobbidi, the self-proclaimed fathers of the Majin, with the purpose of ridding the universe of the Kais, of the gods, and the only other wizards that we've seen in the series so far. So is it a coincidence that in the same arc, a much more powerful wizard is introduced to the series? Majin Buu is also reintroduced to the series in a major way, but those aren't Moro's only ties to the demon world. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Anime Live Reactions did an amazing video on this topic where he explained the origin of Moro. Again, I highly recommend you go check it out after this one, and if you do, make sure you let him know that Dooley sent you. I'll put a link in the description. Anyway, in that video, he explains the real world origin of Moro. It turns out Moro in Dragon Ball Super is inspired by a deity from the history pages of the real world named Baphomet. Now, Baphomet is depicted differently across different cultures, but for the most part, he is always represented by a humanoid figure with a goat's head and is almost always used as a replacement for the devil. Now, for the super religious amongst you guys, I know talking about the devil is a little weird, but I'm only mentioning this to help shed some light on the potential role of Moro in Dragon Ball Super. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, doesn't Dragon Ball Super already have its own representation of the devil in Deborah, who was the king of all demons? And that's true, but when you take into consideration that even though Deborah was the king of all demons, he was introduced as being under Babbidi's control. It implies that maybe the wizards, like Bobbidi, are the ones really running the show, and the demons, like Deborah, are simply looked at and used as pawns. Now, this is a bit of speculation because obviously, although the demon world is talked about in a lot of third-party video games and storylines, in the canon, there is still so much about the demon world that we do not know. But if that's the case, then it'll make complete sense for Moro, who is a wizard, to be the real devil, the real one in control of the demon realm, even though Deborah was the one crowned king. Now, earlier in this video, I mentioned that the demon realm is likely outside of Zeno's power, meaning Zeno cannot just snap his fingers and erase the demon realm in the same way he does with any of the current universes. And that is because the demon realm is likely unaffected by divine ki. And here's why. Outside of the demon realm, so in our realm or our plane of existence, the angels in Dragon Ball Super are masters of divine ki, which gives them control over things like life and death. We saw this when Whis used divine ki to resurrect Frieza instantly at the end of the Tournament of Power without the need of the use of the Dragon Balls or anything like that. Now, in the manga of Dragon Ball Super, we found out that Makarita, who is the angel from Universe 11, could not resurrect Jiren's mentor because Jiren's mentor was killed by a demon, and angels cannot resurrect those that were killed by demons. This is likely because the demon uses the ki he brought from the demon world, and that ki is unaffected by angelic ki, which is divine ki. I mean, this is the entire reason why Jiren was in the Tournament of Power to begin with. He wanted to use the Super Dragon Balls to resurrect his dead mentor because Makarita couldn't do it, which raises the question, since the Super Dragon Balls and the normal Dragon Balls for that matter can resurrect people killed by demons, does that mean that the Dragon Balls do not use divine ki? Did Zalama, the one who created the Super Dragon Balls and is kind of like the one above all in Dragon Ball Super, is his power something beyond even divine ki? That would make sense since the Super Dragon Balls were able to restore the universes erased using Zeno's power, and since the Super Dragon Balls would be limited by Zalama's power and they are limitless, it implies that Zalama, whoever and wherever he is even stronger than Zeno. That's a topic that I've covered in different videos on my channel. You can just YouTube Dooley Zalama and it'll come up. But let me get back to the point here. The point is, Zeno, whatever power he uses, is likely a derivative of divine ki, in the same way Hakai energy is used to destroy by the gods of destruction, but it stems from divine ki. And if demonic ki is unaffected by divine ki, it'll make sense that the demons in the demon realm are unaffected by Zeno's power to erase whatever he wants. In some ways, this really depowers Zeno, but it's not just him. If demonic ki is unaffected by divine ki, this will make the angels and the gods of destruction a lot less powerful in a fight against demons as well. This is likely why Zeno has bodyguards. In fact, to stand in opposition of the demons is likely why the entire angelic hierarchy exists. Guys, these are all the reasons why I believe a major war is coming in Dragon Ball Super. A war that gives all living beings, especially the powerful ones like Goku, Vegeta, and Jiren, direct motivation to fight alongside the angels against the demons. Demons that are under the control of Moro or another wizard who is just as powerful or more powerful than Moro is, just in case he isn't the final boss. I want to also mention here that these demons are already powerful enough to kill Jiren's parents and then his mentor, who was a friend to the god of destruction from Universe 11, which means he likely had a bit of power himself. But none of this happened in the demon realm, so these demons may be even more powerful in that realm. Anyway, that is it for me, guys. There's a bit more that I wanted to say, but I think you guys already got the point, and this video is getting pretty long, so hashtag Demon War in the comments below if you made it this far in the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts below. Dooku, I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. I am still working on a lot more, so you will be hearing from me again real soon. Be kind to each other. Have a great day. Bye.